Um, David, in terms of other questions that have come in,
Yeah.
what type of content do you think performs best on LinkedIn? If you were going to encourage people to spend a bit more time creating content to share, what would you be recommending that they invest their time in creating?
One of the types of content that performs best, it always changes. The algorithm is notorious for favoring one thing, and then polls are the favorite one thing, and then articles were the favorite maybe in 2014, 2015. It changes over time. So any advice you get on what's going to work on LinkedIn, I would take it with a large pinch of salt, and also bear in mind that what's said today might not be valid tomorrow. But at the moment, one of the most effective ways of adding a post with new content on LinkedIn is to add a PDF document as part of your post. That means that people can scroll through it without leaving LinkedIn, without clicking, without going into full screen mode. They can go to full screen mode, so you can have quite detailed documents rather than just large eye candy. And you can have a lot of detail, a lot of information within those PDF documents. The reason that they perform quite well, apart from the fact that they're visually interesting, is the fact that the dwell time increases. And the dwell time is a measurement of just how long you look at a piece of content. That's what the dwell time is. And the algorithm for LinkedIn, what it does is it looks at dwell time and it sees if the dwell time is high, it must be good content. Therefore, it's going to show your content to more people. So it will broaden out the reach of that particular piece of content. Obviously, it also takes into consideration the number of comments, the number of reactions that you have. So if you get good engagement with your content in the first few hours and you get good read times where people are actually spending time interacting with your document, then your content is going to perform better. It's going to be put in front of more people. And obviously, you get more eyeballs, you get more interest, you get more responses, you get more likes. And, it's a virtual circle. It's a virtuous circle, rather. So that is one of the best performing pieces of content. It used to be the case that polls did very well, but they kind of fell out of favor because they were overkill. It got too popular. People were using it too much and it was being shown to too many people. So people got rather sick of it. I think LinkedIn maybe just made a bit of a mistake with the way that they prioritized polls over everything else. And they should have been more of a balance just to say, well, it's part of the mix. But one of the ones that consistently still does well is adding a PDF document as part of the upload. It's just a click on a button, which is rather than adding an image, you add a document, and the PDF document is the best container to use. You can either use a square format, which works quite well on LinkedIn, or a more traditional A4 page, which is better for more in-depth text, which is not designed to be read with the full screen mode on, rather than be designed to be read at a quick glance. But the dwell time is the thing that makes it work. The more time people spend on your posts, the better they're going to perform. So sometimes that's why you'll see quite lengthy posts where it probably could have been said in a more concise way, but it goes into more detail and gives more background, it gives more relevant sort of comments and other information, asks a question at the end. So brief content, it doesn't perform badly, but again, it comes back to the dwell time, and that's certainly something that the algorithm has prioritized over the last couple of months. And content that it does well, that's distributed well and goes to more people is generally because it has good dwell time and people are spending more time engaging with that content.
The other thing that I would encourage, David, and I completely endorse the PDF thing. We use that a lot ourselves with our clients as well, and we consistently see that performs. The other thing that I think works really well and that people have to push themselves out of their comfort zones a bit to do is allowing some of your personality or your own life to shine through in your posts. So you tend to see that things that have photos of people or a team celebrating something or an event that you've all attended, an awards event, for example, something like that does really well. Or, a day in the life, what's happened to you in your business today. Maybe you went to a client site for the first time in ages and you helped them solve a problem. That kind of storytelling, telling something that's happened in your life or in the business, that seems to go down really well as well. So I don't know if that's something you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, people like to hear stories. And if you can tell a story and, a picture tells 1,000 words. One image makes a big difference to people. If you see a strong image there, somebody's smiling, somebody's celebrating something, you know there's a story behind that. And even if you don't read the story, your brain is processing that image and your cognitive mechanism is working. There's research that says that the human brain processes images either 60,000 times faster or 42,000 times faster. The research is slightly different in each area. But if you think about something coming into your brain 40,000 times faster than a piece of text and going straight into the limbic part of the brain where it's processed instantly, a smiling face tells a story. A sad face tells a story. Somebody holding up an award tells a story. And if you just quickly glance at the company and you look at the fact that somebody's won an award, you've already got the story. There's an association there that this is a company that's successful, that's gone into competition and has won something. So
Yes.
even if you don't go into the detail about what the award was for, who the team was, all of the details that will probably be in that story, you've got the main components of it. And again, that's why it does well, because people like to share stories. It's as simple as that. So as you say, a story which is maybe personal rather than business, which may be something about some pain you've gone through, about your mental health, about someone that's close to you passing. All of these are stories that resonate with people because, we're all human beings. We may be on LinkedIn to try and do business and to network professionally with people, but you're still dealing with human beings. And it's worth remembering that when you're thinking, well, what kind of content should I post? If you just think, well, something funny happened to me this morning. I was walking outside and then suddenly I saw something and it made me think about something else. And then, you've got a story to tell there. And it can come from any kind of experience that you might have had. It doesn't have to always be about business. And indeed, it can get a bit boring if all you talk about is your business and you bang on about your business in every post. It's a little bit monotone, and therefore you need to mix up a little bit with different types of content, and people respond well to that, I think.
Definitely.